Police High Command expresses condolence to family members of Sergeant Wallace. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF High Command says it is saddened by the death of Sergeant William Wallace, who was electrocuted at his home on Sunday, March 30. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is expressing condolences to the family, friends and colleagues of Sergeant Wallace. He was assigned to the Protective Services Division. The Force's Chaplaincy Branch and Welfare Department are providing support to the family members, friends and colleagues of the Sergeant, the High Command noted. Reports are that about 6:10, Sergeant Wallace was trimming a tree, which he came in contact with high-tension wire and was electrocuted. The police were summoned and he was transported to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Bolt family lost. The family of sprint legend Usain Bolt was plunged into mourning on Monday when his father died. Sources close to the family confirmed his passing, adding that he had been ailing for a while. Up to press time, reporters were not able to receive or see a reaction from the athlete great, who our sources said is in Europe on business. Bolt Sr.'s passing would be particularly painful to the world's fastest man, as it had a close bond with his parents. Senior Bolt was often seen in the stands along with his wife Jennifer as they support their son during his rise into global stardom. When Bolt won his first Olympic gold medal at the 2008 Belgian Games, setting the then 100-meter world record of 9.69 seconds, his father was watching from home while his mother was in the stands. "It was a tense moment for me," he was reported as saying at the time, adding that he was not fond of flying, so I wasn't there for the 100-meter. However, both sponsors at the time Digicel convinced Senior Bolt to travel to Belgium for the 200 meters, but the race was being won when he was in the air and he missed on his son's capturing another gold and smashing the world record. Since then, he never missed a major race in which his son competed. Senior Bolt operated a shop in the family's home district of Sherwood Content, Trelawney, for 15 years up to 2017. Prior to that, he worked at a coffee board for 6 years. Despite his son's success, Senior Bolt and his wife opted to remain at their home in Sherwood Content and were reported to have been very generous to residents, giving away as many products as would sold at the shop. "I need something to occupy my time, so I didn't get lazy," Senior Bolt was quoted as saying in one interview. "As parents, we are proud of him, but we don't think it is fair for us to be acting over the head of various people in our community." Reacting to news of his passing, Sports Minister Oliver Babsy Grange remembered him as a passionate and supportive figure. Senior Bolt and his wife Jennifer were the picture of a loving and supportive family who were always there for their son Usain, Grange stated. "I found Mr. Bolt to be an exceptional and passionate father who was invested in the success of his family. He was the strength of his family. I offer my sincere condolence to Jennifer, Usain, and the rest of the Bolt family on the passing of him, or Gideon, as he was so affectionately called by his friends and neighbors in Trelawney," Grange noted. Carl Beckford, who was the legendary sprinter's publicist to 2012, described Senior Bolt as a happy man who enjoyed a good outing. He supported his son's pursuit of his dream and was as involved with him as much as he could. "We had good times on road trips, and when we visited him, he always made us feel comfortable. May he rest in eternal peace," Beckford stated. PM Holness says Jamaica's development cannot be achieved through empty promises. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says Jamaica's development cannot be achieved through empty promises. He stated that Jamaica has changed, noting that from time to time promises were costed. Dr. Holness pointed out that during the long budget debate, several proposals were made, and it was shown that the promises did not make sense as they could not be financed. The opposition came under criticism after its presentation, with questions raised about the cost of various initiatives. Addressing the Manchester Chamber of Commerce over the weekend, Dr. Holness said the desire for immediate gratification has led people to accept promises without considering their feasibility. He highlighted that an institutional change has occurred with the establishment of a fiscal commissioner.
For the first time, promises that were made by politicians were costed. A price was put on it. Because for too long in our economic history, and indeed our social history and in the development of the country, our electorate has never really asked our politicians to price or cost the promises that they make. Because we want the satisfaction now, we accept anything that is told to us. But in this last budget, a price was placed on every promise that was made. But Jamaica now has something called a fiscal commission. It means that the days of impractical promises that would easily catch the eye of the unsuspecting voter, the days of politicians being able to ride on the psychological need for immediate gratification by making empty promises, those days are over. So the Fiscal Commission essentially polices what the government will spend on. But it also has the ability to price or cost any other proposed spending either by the government or the opposition. So there is an independent body that could very well say what is being proposed doesn't make sense.
Finance Minister putting Jamaicans at risk, says Crawford. Opposition Senator Damon Crawford has accused Finance Minister Favour Williams of putting Jamaicans at risk. Crawford made the accusation on Friday during his contribution to the debate on the 2025 appropriation bill in the Senate. He was pushing back at statements from both the governing Jamaica Labour Party JLP and the media that the budget presentations of opposition leader Mark Golding and opposition spokesperson on finance Julian Robinson did not state how their proposed measures would be financed if the People's National Party is returned to office after the general election. First, they say we the PNP have no ideas. What stupidity is that? How could a collection of over 40,000 people have no ideas? It's better you had said that we had no good ideas, Crawford noted. When we look out with ideas, they say it wasn't costed. I want any Jamaican to go to the budget presentation by Andrew Holness in 2015 in this parliament as leader of the opposition going into the election and tell me where his costings were. Just go and look back at the presentation in 2015. I don't need to tell anybody nothing. It has nothing been the intention of each project in the opposition leader's speech. Never, he continued. Crawford then shifted focus to the finance minister, who was highly critical of what she described as the PNP's implied budget when she closed the budget debate on March 25th. She too charged that the PNP had failed to tell the nation how the proposal would be financed and state that the PNP would run up the fiscal deficit of $204 billion, leading them to what she called Fiscal 2.0. She calculated the PNP's proposal to cost nearly $49 billion, but the opposition countered at a press conference on March 26, where the opposition leader said the cost would be $23 billion per year. Crawford noted that Williams has pointed out that the government presently spent $9 billion for 200,000 students for a breakfast snack and midday meal for 190 days. He also noted that her analysis stated that the PNP promised to provide a meal for all needy students at the primary and secondary levels would amount to 400,000 students and a doubling of that present allocation. If anything is putting this country at risk, it is this minister. Why we know this minister is putting this country at risk as Minister of Finance is because her cost analysis don't add up. The maths is not mathsing, stated Crawford. If she should spend $280 per child on 200,000 children for 190 days, that is $10.6 billion. That's a government budget of $8.98 billion. So already she's out billions. A $1.66 billion shortfall, he added. How much other bad maths is in this budget, he asked. Continuing, the opposition senator said it is either they're lying on the numbers of children because that would be 168,000 or they plan to feed 31,000 fewer who need it, stressing that the finance minister's analysis of the PNP budget proposal indicates that 400,000 students would need to be fed. Crawford said the JLP proposal is to feed 168,000 students. They have decided to sacrifice in this budget 231,203 children that she says are in need. As the former Minister of Education, she should know. This is not in the budget, but she says the PNP needing number is 400,000. She should know, stated Crawford. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.